Make a Path presents Let's Talk.
Welcome back, Deadheads. This prediction video is going to be short and sweet. I'm a little pressed for time, so I'm not going to have a lot of time to do any edits or add images. But an image I will add is this one. For all the Daryl fans thinking that Aaron is going to shoot Daryl because of the trailer we saw, don't worry. You can actually see that Aaron is running with Daryl. They do this a lot, and I have a feeling, or at least I'm hoping, that they're trying to trick us with this kind of trailer to get a lot of viewers, There's some casual ones that, only view when something big is happening. I know, how dare them. But I think that that's just like a ploy to get them to watch because there's something big that they're hiding. I'm not saying it's going to be huge, but I have a feeling that, or at least I'm hoping, there's going to be a big reveal, So, without any further ado, let's talk The Walking Dead predictions for episode 13. Alright guys, right off the bat, I think this episode is going to be more setup. We'll probably also check in with other survivors to see where they're at. I'm really hoping we do see Abraham in the construction crew and maybe even Father Gabriel looking at a church outside the wall, because I believe there's a steeple. I could be getting ahead of myself, but I believe there's a church that they haven't built the wall around yet. And as far as action for this video, I believe the only action we're going to get is whatever Daryl is doing outside of the wall. We did get a preview with Sasha. She was just doing target practice. It looked like she was hearing things or maybe losing her shit for a moment. But I think that Daryl is going to be this episode's little action scene. I don't know what the hell he's doing outside the wall. Maybe he's just getting out. Maybe he feels trapped inside Alexandria, or he could possibly be hunting. And I think Aaron's just watching him to keep an eye on Daryl. I think Daryl's the one they're not really convinced about yet. And I'm not saying they think he's a bad guy at Alexandria. I'm saying maybe they're just concerned slightly with him and his attitude. And no, I'm absolutely against the idea of Daryl becoming Dwight. I'm against anything that has to do with that, And I will do that in a video, but I just want to say, yes, I am against that. I'm against pretty much pushing Daryl out. He conformed with the RV group. He made them family. He can do it in Alexandria. But maybe Daryl being outside of the walls and having to protect himself with Aaron maybe that will actually open Daryl up more as far as Aaron goes, into trust, into letting some of that wall down that he's built around him as far as the community at Alexandria goes. Now, moving on, one of the most exciting things I'm looking forward to in this episode is my girl Michonne in a constable uniform. Yeah, we did see a little peek of it in the trailer. You could see the start of the uniform, and I'm excited to get Michonne in uniform. And for any figure collectors, any figure fans from McFarlane Toys, how awesome would it be to get a 2-pack of Constable Rick and Constable Michonne? We could get both the TV and the comic series in that. I'll love both of those. And we're most likely going to get more into the Pete story. I think it would be kind of odd to skip him and Jesse and then not see him a whole episode, because I think that the Pete story and the Jesse story is what leads us further on throughout this season. So I believe we're going to see more unfold as far as his kid showing up with a black eye, and this would make a little bit more sense because now Rick sees the kid fine, and then he sees him with a black eye. Maybe Carl sees something and tells Rick. I mean, there's many possibilities at play here. And speaking of more of a Pete interaction in this episode, I'm really hoping, I was not trying to get my hopes up, but I'm really hoping we get the party. In the comic book, they do like a welcoming party for the new recruits, basically. And that's what Rick and his group are. They're new recruits coming to Alexandria. And I'm hoping we do get that party. And in the party, maybe we see more of Pete. Maybe we see more of, I want more bodies. And I know Deanna said that she told the residents of Alexandria to give them room and to stay away. But I want to see more people congregated in one place. I agree with you guys. It does look like a ghost town. And I know for budgetary reasons, they won't be packing the place. So I get what they're doing. And I'm hoping the welcoming party is the chance where they're like, boom, here's a ton of characters. If we don't get the party, it's not a huge deal for me, but it kind of is a disappointment that we don't get the gun scene, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to get that scene from the comic, because now Rick's gun is gone. It's missing. So to have a welcoming home party and maybe have Glenn go and either try to steal a gun or Glenn go and look and scout out to see if there's a way to get in there to take a gun. It's set up perfectly now to do that. So I'm hoping they do that from the comic book. Also, it would make sense that we see the gun again. And no, I don't believe this is the same gun that the Aiden character handed Tara. I think the girl took the gun. Episode 11, we got Rick hiding the gun. Episode 12, he goes back for the gun and it's missing. Episode 13, hopefully the gun pops back around. And I'm guessing that the girl has it. Yeah, I'm stuck on that because it's the only thing that makes sense at the moment. And speaking of the girl, is she bringing food and supplies to people on the outside? There's two theories. This is the one I like the most. She's bringing some food and supplies to people she likes. If they're her family members, it makes no sense why they're not in Alexandria. But if they're the ones that were exiled, and again, I don't believe that the woman exiled Deanna. I don't believe she exiled 3 people at once. We don't even know that. They could have exiled people from throughout a year. They could have exiled people. So maybe it's 1 or 2 people that Deanna exiled that this girl is bringing supplies to. Who knows, man? It could be something as simple as she makes her own fort out there. You know what I'm saying? It really seriously could be something like that. And she took the gun because she goes back and forth, and that's protection for her, is the gun. It could be something so simple. And then the other theory I don't like is the wolves. And I know I was totally wrong. I do not even know where the hell I got that 8 months from, but apparently it was 3 months. I'm really hoping this isn't wrong information again, but apparently it's 3 months the girl was there. Now, I don't believe the wolves are that badass and they've been lingering around for 3 months, unless Deanna is really hiding some army back there that we don't know about, which isn't the case. So I think the wolves would have already attacked by now. You know what I'm saying? You got that dipshit Aiden going out on runs. If they're watching them, they know 4 of his people just got killed. So if 4 of his people got killed, wouldn't it make sense to attack them at that moment? You could kill 2 of their people, weaken them like that, start picking them off one by one. I don't know why they would be waiting 3 whole months. And now that more bodies, more protection, now that they got there, then they're going to spring their master plan to attack Alexandria? It just doesn't make sense. And the moment they saw Rick's beard, you know what I'm saying? You would immediately, you would think that they would want to retreat. Maybe it's because they shaved his beard, and then they're like, wow, he lost the power of the beard. Maybe we should attack. I'm fucking with you. I'm kidding. That was just absolutely ridiculous. Sorry, I got off track there. I have fun with crazy fan ideas. I see so much on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook especially, where fans come up with the craziest shit. At least in the comments section, we have a couple crazies here and there. You know who you are with your wild accusations and speculations. But on Facebook, it's like, are you watching the same show? What the hell are you talking about, you know? Alright guys, so I'm sorry for the unprepared shoot from the hip style prediction video. And you know what was fun about this prediction video? I didn't even go over the trailer. I watched the trailer once. I watched it a second time just to get you that image that I pulled from it. And then I looked at the sneak peek and it was just Sasha shooting like picture frames, you know what I mean? So, and everything else after that, I was going off just the writer's style. So for shits, I'm curious to see how well I did with this one, you know? You know what to do. Predictions, ideas, thoughts, suggestions, opinions in the comments section. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.